Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful and honestly, most underrated tools in finance. It's the one that can tell you what's really going on inside a company, the cash flow statement. But first, let me ask you a question. Picture a company that's all over the news. Glowing headlines, record-breaking profits, the whole nine yards. They seem totally unstoppable, right? Well, what if I told you that same super profitable company could be on the verge of going completely bankrupt? The answer is a surprising and an absolute yes. A company can definitely be profitable on paper and still go bust. And the reason why gets to the very heart of how a business actually works. It all comes down to its cash flow. This is what we call the profit paradox. It's this strange gap between looking fantastic in a report and being financially healthy in reality. How does that happen? Okay, imagine a company sells $1 million worth of products and books a huge profit. Great. But what if all their customers bought on credit and haven't paid them yet? Well, that company has zero cash from that sale to pay its own bills. That's the key. Profit doesn't always equal cash in the bank. You see, every company's financial story is really told through three main documents. We always hear about the first two, right? The income statement. That's the one that tracks profits. And the position statement, which you might know as the balance sheet, which is like a snapshot of what a company owns and owes. But it's that third one. That's where the real secrets are hiding. So let's meet our hero for today, the cash flow statement. I want you to think of it as the ultimate financial detective. It couldn't care less about the headlines or the fancy accounting jargon. It's just there to follow one simple clue: the money. At its core, the cash flow statement is actually pretty simple. All it does is track the real, actual movement of cash over a certain amount of time. It doesn't care about promises of future payments or what accountants call accruals. Nope. It just cares about one thing: what cash came into the bank and what cash went out. Period. Now, you're probably thinking, tracking every single dollar in a huge company must be insanely complicated. But here's the beautiful thing about the cash flow statement. It's simplicity. It sorts everything, and I mean everything, into just three main buckets. This is where the magic really happens. Every single financial move, every sale, every purchase, every loan, it all gets dropped into one of just three categories: operating, investing, and financing. This simple structure is what makes it so incredibly easy to see what's really going on under the hood. So bucket number one is operating activities. This is the cash a company makes from its main day-to-day business. The easiest way to think about it is in personal terms. This is like your salary coming in and the money you spend on everyday stuff like groceries, rent, and your bills. It answers the most basic question: is the actual business making any cash? Second, we've got investing activities. This one tracks cash that's spent on or received from big long-term assets. In your life, this is like buying or selling a house or a car. For a company, it's about buying a new factory or selling off some old equipment. This bucket tells us if the company is investing in its future or if it's selling things off just to stay afloat. And our third and final bucket is financing activities. This is all about how a company raises money and pays it back. We're talking about cash from selling stock to owners or taking out loans from a bank. For you and me, this would be like getting a mortgage for that house or paying back a student loan. And this table just lays it all out perfectly, see? Each bucket has cash coming in and cash going out. For operating, sales bring cash in. Paying your employees sends it out. For financing, taking on a new loan is an inflow, and paying back that loan is an outflow. It's just a simple but really powerful record of what the company's been up to. Okay, so we have our three buckets, but how do they all come together to tell the full story? Well, believe it or not, it's way simpler than you might think. The final calculation is just simple math. You start with the net cash you got from operations, then you add or subtract the cash from investing and financing. And what you're left with is the total change in the company's cash balance for that time period. That's it. That's the bottom line. And by looking at the numbers in each of those three buckets, we can start asking the really critical questions. Is the company's main business actually healthy? That's your operating cash. Is it building for the future, or is it selling off the furniture to pay the rent? You'll find that in investing. Is it getting money from its owners, or is it borrowing a ton of money just to survive? That's what financing tells you. So here's the big takeaway. Profit is important. Of course it is. It tells you about a company's potential and how it's performing on paper. But it really, truly only tells you part of the story. The cash flow statement cuts through all the noise. It forces us to ask the single most important question. Forget the accounting tricks, forget the optimistic promises. Where is the money really coming from and where is it going? And now you know exactly how to find the answer.